and welcome to Drafting with Jamie Rigatti for SeemsGoodMagic.com. We are doing a Kaladesh 6222 draft league today. So let's get started. What is the first pick going to be? I do like Eliminate the Competition in the right deck. If you have lots of servos, this card is great. If you don't get a lot of Fabricate, this card can be underwhelming, but it's quite strong. I do really like Shrewd Negotiation as well. What else is in this pack? This is a pretty good pack. Hunt the Weak is decent. Thriving Rhino is great. And Die Young is maybe also in the mix here. It's cheap removal. But let's go ahead and take Eliminate the Competition. This is a strong card. Now, it is a build around. We do need like strong Fabricate cards for this to work. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take that. I think Shrewd Negotiation is quite strong too. So this is kind of a tough pick. I think it's definitely between the two of them. Let's take Eliminate though. Removal is good. Ooh. Well, okay. So let's see. We could take a Self-Assembler. It's a little bit early, but the earlier the better, right? Because I feel like the sweet spot for this card is probably around like 3 to 4 of them. 2 is okay, but yeah, I think 3 would be great. So there is maybe an argument for taking that because it does keep us open as well. But this is a really strong gold card. And we're kind of in a position to take this here. Because, I mean, we're not committed to black. This actually is a really splashable card as well. But look at the rest of this pack. Is there anything that is super good to take? Not particularly. I mean, Aviator is quite strong. It is a 5-drop though. 5-drops are easy to get. Now, I'm normally against taking a gold card, but I feel like this card is pretty strong, and there's nothing in this pack that's like screaming, oh my gosh, you need to take me. So let's give this a go. Let's see what happens. I might regret that later, but I feel like Eliminate is very splashable, so we could end up like white, some other color, you know? So we'll see. Okay. I mean, maybe it was supposed to be Self-Assembler because I feel like that is a good card. Let's see here. Serpent, I feel like, is very strong. We might just take the Decoction module, though. Let's see. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get energy. Yeah, we could take the module. The modules do stupid things. And it offers a mana sink for the format, which is pretty tough otherwise if you don't have a module. I feel like every deck kind of needs one of these now. This isn't the most ridiculous one, but if we get some nice enter the battlefield effects, this will be good. And it's still early, so I feel like I'm going to take this here and see what happens. The Serpent is probably the only other thing I'd be considering. The rest is just kind of like meh. Let's see. Okay, so I like Screecher a lot. What else would be good in this pack? I like Fortuitous Find in a black deck, but that's not something I'm willing to take highly. Thriving Rats is okay. Night Market Lookout is good if you have a couple skiffs because they're crew 1, so that's like a nice little combo. But let's go with Screecher here. We're looking to make this an artifact deck. Artifact deck. Yes. Okay. Weaponcraft Enthusiast goes with the Screecher. It goes with Eliminate. It could be the pick here. I do like Glint-Sleeve Artisan better. That's a stronger card, I believe, than Weaponcraft. Because this becomes a 2/3 for 3 or an 0/1 and 2 1/1s. This is a 3/3 for 3 or a 2/2 and a 1/1, which I think is just better than Weaponcraft. Unless you have, I don't know, a reason to 1/1 more servo, which I think just 1 servo is fine. So I'm going to take the Artisan here. I do want to Fragmentize in my white decks, but I'm not going to take it over a Glint-Sleeve. Glint-Sleeve is quite strong. Okay, so it's looking like we're in the right color so far. Bruiser's a nice pickup. I like Lawless Broker a good bit. We might end up being an Inspired Charge deck, but I'm not going to take it highly. Yeah, I think Bruiser's just the pick. It's a strong 2-drop here, so let's go ahead and take that. Okay, so Fragmentize or Rush. Fragmentize, I feel like I always want to main deck at least one of them in a white deck, but Rush is a very strong combat trick. And I guess we're not married to white at this point. but we might just be moving into black-white for sure. I didn't want this to influence me too much because taking a gold card second pick is kind of risky. Because, yeah, you don't want to get married to your colors too early, but staying open for too long is bad too. We'll take the fragmentize. I think that there's so many targets for this in the set. It's like always good to run at least one, and you can always sideboard it out. Okay, so this is an easy pick because Subtle Strike is quite strong, and there's literally nothing else in our colors, so we can take it. There's nothing in this pack that makes me want to move into a different color. Guide is decent for green. Windrake is fine for blue, but nothing that I need to abandon our game plan for. All right, Automaton is fine. I think I'd rather just have the combat trick. This is not something that I am very excited about. It doesn't have any sort of evasion, so it's just a big body that ends up usually people can like chump it with like a servo or something like that. Not all the time. Like I get it. Like this is a big thing to deal with. But I'll just take the combat trick here. Scavenger's okay too. But yeah, I feel like they're always coming late. Case in point, here is one. So let's take that now. It is playable. This card always disappoints me because I always think that the card is going to go into my hand and it goes on top of my library. I'm like, where did the card go? Mindra, ugh. I mean, there's like no way we're playing Reservoir, but I'll take the rare here because there's no way I'm playing Mind Rod either. I guess I'll take the rare again. Tutor, unless we get 2 bombs, there's no way we're playing it, but if we're super desperate. I have played this card before in a deck. When I've had Black Gearhulk and the Skyship Sovereign, I've run this because if you're having, yeah, if you can find a bomb with it, it's fine. Oh, say Sky Sovereign. There it is. I feel like we just like summoned this, and it's a foil, so that's great. That's obviously the pick. If this wasn't here, I would probably take the Foundry Inspector, or maybe we could even get on the Self-Assembler train, but this is here, and it's beautiful as a foil, and it's ridiculous. This card is kind of broken, so we'll take it. Happily. Okay. People like Barge a lot. I do not. But, well, there's an Artisan here, which I think is just a very solid 3-drop. So I think that's what I'm going to take. Here's why I don't like Barge. Crew 3 can be sometimes pretty tough, right? I get it. You play it and you draw a card. So it's pretty good. But every time I play it, I end up disappointed. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad card. It just means I'm not as inclined to take it, but I will if it's like the clear choice. In this pack, I don't think it's the clear choice. I think Artisan is very strong. It's really good with our removal. It goes well with our Screecher, with the Servo. And then also, I think we're sort of heading into a go wide plan here. So eventually we're going to look at picking up cards like, oh, here's a Wildling Sparks too. But no, I'm going to take the Artisan. So we can look at taking like Inspired Charge. Wow. At some point. That's a really strong card. Okay, Chief of the Foundry looks good for us with the servos. Aviary Mechanic is nice. Like we could bounce. I guess we don't want to bounce the Skyship. There's nothing really that we want to bounce. Tidy Conclusion too. Ooh, this is a tough pack. Wow, this is a very good pack. Removal, but Chief does look pretty good in our deck so far. Oh, man. This is a tough pick. And Screecher's quite good, and Pillarbug isn't bad. Okay, well, the good news is we're going to wheel something from this pack. I think we should probably take the removal. Even though I think Chief is quite good. But passing a Tidy Conclusion seems bad, so let's just take that. It's a strong card. I think we'll end up with enough creatures. Okay, so Dayang is more removal, which I think we need. What's our removal? Let's see. Eliminate the competition, Tidy Conclusion. Sovereign sort of counts as removal, right? It can do 3 damage to something, which probably removes something, so that sort of counts, but not necessarily. Okay. And Fragmentize, but that doesn't necessarily hit the things that we need to hit. Sometimes the artifact is, you know, 5 mana cost or more. Okay. I still think I want to take the Dayang, even though I think, well, okay, no. I mean, Dund Operative looks really good in our deck. And Dayang doesn't look that great because we don't have that much energy, right? I guess the Decoction module. Okay, this is tough, but yeah, let's take the removal here. It actually goes really well with the module. All right, so now we're like pretty set on removal. I feel pretty solid. So now we just have to focus on getting some creatures. So Fretwork Colony is a good one. Thriving Rats is very vanilla. Now this has some downsides. You can't block. If it gets like revoked or something like that, is trouble. Eliminate the Competition can sort of help us with that though. So let's take it. Let's take it. I think we can make it work. Impeccable Timing versus Club Security. We need creatures pretty badly at this point. I like timing a lot, but I feel like we just need to start getting some creatures, and Club Security is not a bad one. So let's take it. That feels really bad to me. I hate passing removal, but at some point we really do need creatures. Okay, so Night Market Lookout looks kind of bad for us, but I mean I'll pick it up here. It probably just doesn't fit in our deck though, unless we get like a Sky Skiff. So I'm gonna move that over there. Let's see. Lawless Broker is okay. Ninth Bridge Patrol is okay. This goes well with Eliminate if it's out at the same time and we sacrifice servos. But other than that, it's not super exciting in this deck. If you have like some sort of blink deck, it can get out of control. I don't think that we have the right deck for that. So let's take the Lawless Broker. This card's fine. Fortuitous Find looks good with the Sovereign. To be able to get that back is nice if it gets killed. Ambitious Aetherborn is really not bad either, though. So since we're so low on creatures, this can help us get them back after they're in the graveyard. But this guy is just good on its own. So let's take the Ambitious Aetherborn here, actually. And we'll probably get a Fortuitous Find later. Nobody really wants that card. I guess I'll take another Club Security here. Even though I do like Gauntlet, we're still a little light on creatures. Wow, we got the Screecher back. That's amazing. Ambitious Aetherborn. I don't know that I run 2 of these, but I'll take it. I don't think we want a pressure point. Okay. Well, I mean, we're looking good going into pack 3 here. We got some good removal. We have decent creatures. This deck is okay. Padim. And a Cub. Wow, this is a strong pack. So I think I just want Screecher number 3. They're kind of awkward though because they can't really block. So at some point you have to say how many Screechers is too many Screechers, but I don't think 3 is. I think that maybe 4 or 5 is too many. But Evasion is always good. So I think I'm ready to pick up another one here. I do really like Rush as a trick. I do. So I think that's what the 2 choices for us would be. That's a pretty strong pack, just not exactly what we're looking for. Ooh, Daredevil is perfect. We have a lot of Fabricate stuff. Well, I guess not a lot. I actually wish we had some more. Maybe I am running this Aetherborn because it's Fabricate. But Daredevil's great. It's just, it never goes away. Oh, Artisan's really nice too. But yeah, this fits our curve really good. So let's take that really well. Okay, animation module. Whenever you 1 or more +1 counters. Okay, how much counter stuff do we have? Not that much. Because I think we're looking more so for servos, not for counters. So the module I feel like is a strong card, but not necessarily in our deck. So I think I'm more so looking at the squad here. I think that's an upgrade for us over one of these securities. We sort of need 2-drop creatures though too, so maybe it's supposed to be Thriving Rats, but I think the squad is quite strong, so let's make an upgrade there. Pillar Bug is nice. We have a lot of 3-drops and not too many 2-drops. Is that okay? We will find out. I feel like that's the downfall of this deck. I need more 2-drops, but it might work out. Subtle Strike is quite a good trick. We already have 1. I think I'm just interested in the pillar bug. This guy's pretty great because the lifelink just like screws with people trying to race. And it goes well with our screechers. So I'm down to take that. All right. I think I want the rush here. I love this as a trick. I think it's really versatile. Being able to gain life and make something indestructible is just nice, and it's cheap. So let's take that. Subtle Strike is really great in this set though too, because there's a lot of X1s. It makes combat like a nightmare, but I think I want one rush in our deck. Another Tidy Conclusion? Wow. I think I'm cutting the build to last and running rush instead. Harsh Scrutiny I've seen do good things. If you can play it on turn 1, it's nice, but sometimes it just hits nothing. Oh, wow. All removal is kind of expensive though. Can I afford to put 2 Tidy Conclusions in with our curve? Or do we actually just want a Puzzle Knot? Being able to draw cards is nice. I don't know that I can actually run 2 of these, but I'll take it just in case we need it. Wow, that's very strong. That's very tempting to splash. But with no fixing, I feel like that's a mistake. So let's just take a second Subtle Strike here. Well, I don't think I'm running another Scavenger, so let's take a second Fragmentize in case there's a lot of targets for it. We can run that. Second Rush, maybe in certain matchups. Wow. I think black was very, very, very open. We're like almost mono black. I probably could be mono black. That's crazy. Okay, so let's take the Broker, I guess, because we already have 2 Subtle Strikes. I'm like really tempted to just go mono black, actually. It's pretty strong. We'd be missing out on Camball, 2 Glint Sleeves, and a Fragmentize. Glint Sleeves are quite strong, though. I think I will just keep them in the deck, but I really think we could get away with being mono black, which is exciting. I've had a mono black deck before, and it did very well. Granted, I had this and a Gear Hulk, so that like really helped. Let's take the Live Fast, I guess. I don't think I'm running either one of these cards. I think our deck is like pretty much built. We have to make 1 cut. We'll look at it in a second though. I'll make sure it's good to go. Let's see. Gosh, this is so gorgeous. The foils are just really nice to look at. Okay. So we're not running that. Ooh. I don't think I want to run 2 rushes. I think I want a Fragmentized main deck. Although not necessarily. Okay, let's look at our removal. Tidy Conclusion, eliminate the competition. I'm sort of counting the flagship because when it comes in, it probably is going to kill something, but maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't count that as removal. So 1, 2, 3. We don't have that much removal, actually. Maybe I'm supposed to run another Tidy Conclusion. They're so expensive, though, so it's pretty risky, I think, to put in 2 just because they're so expensive. Like 5 mana is a lot. Scavenger is fine. I can get back Sky Sovereign if it's killed. All right, so 1 cut. It should probably be a creature, right? Because I think I want to not touch any of this. Let's see. Is it... It might just be Lawless Broker. Because it's just not that exciting. I wish we had a couple more 2-drops, but I think our creatures are pretty strong. I like the 3 Screechers. I like how much Fabricate stuff we have. Our removal is decent. We have a straight up bomb. This thing is really broken. So, yeah, let's try to go 10-6. Wait, 10-7. We're doing 17 lands. I can't get away with 16 lands, not with this kind of curve. That would be asking for trouble. So, wait, is Decoction Module even worth running? What do we need energy for? And like, what are we trying to bounce? I don't actually think that fits in this deck. I'm gonna actually take that out. The only thing we need energy for is Die Young, which is like fine on its own, right? It can just deal 2 damage. That's fine. So I don't think this actually fits. I like this card a lot, but like we're not trying to bounce anything really. I mean, so we can bounce our Fabricate stuff, but that's not that exciting. So I'd rather just cut that and play. Let's see, we could play. Do we want to run another creature or do we want to run like another Subtle Strike is quite strong. I think I actually am willing to run another Subtle Strike or even another Rush. I think it's Subtle Strike. This just makes combat like a nightmare, and it's a very versatile card. So let's do that. We're not looking for energy, so I think that makes more sense. All right, everything else looks pretty good. Yeah, I was trying to maybe build around this card, but it didn't work out. But I think this deck is quite strong. The removal's good. We have a shiny, beautiful bomb. It could be all right. So let's see how this goes. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in a minute for round 1.